Namaskar. Hello and welcome to this very solemn occasion of World Environment Day 2025. अ, विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस के इस अवसर पर आप सभी का भूरी भूरी स्वागत है. And today, from the ages of Rethink India, we felt like commemorating this day by way of Inti- Integral Indic Environmentalism Forum. And I will be coming to the philosophical precept of it all. And all our guests and participants this evening have really burnt the midnight oil, the proverbial midnight oil, and they have really brought about that very letter and spirit of Indic environmentalism, which is integral by all means. Today also happens to be a very solemn occasion of the Smriti Divas of one of the biggest savants of Indian nationalism, and we call it Indian civilizational nationalism, civilized nationalism. Madhav Sadashiv Golwalkar ji, who departed to his heavenly abode on this very day in 1973. And at Rethink India, we feel like juxtaposing the contemporary and the futuristic narratives which are so very central to our very subsistence, even what to talk about flourishing, what to talk about prosperity in today's war ridden global atmosphere where nation states are trampling over the others. The kind of energy crisis which we are witnessing right from 28th of February when the war broke out, war between Iran, Israel, America, the blockade of the Hormuz Strait. We are all witnessing it right in our households as to how the cooking gas crisis, perhaps in the tier 3 cities or elsewhere. Prime Minister uh, came up with the appeal to conserve energy by all means. So it's a war of environment, it is war of resources, and that's where juxtaposing the life and legend of savants who gave up their whole life building up a nation, stirring up the consciousness of a nation to become a Swayam Sevak, to become a volunteer by all means, leaving aside whether we agree or disagree on the political side of the things, but the core substance of the message of a personality that you have to become a Swayam Sevak, you have to become a volunteer in national upliftment. And that's where the term Guru comes over here, the grand undertakers of Rashtriya upliftment, because environment is a subject which is not individualistic. So today, if I drain out a dirty water from my household, it affects others. Whatever air I breathe, it comes through from the Parali areas. We would be witnessing those smoggy cities of ours. So environment is the integral whole. It is all intertwined. It is all interconnected. The entire conversations around carbon credits, that rich countries would be burning more fossil fuels and the poor countries like us, they would be getting the carbon credits and so forth. So the entire existence revolves around environment per se. प्रकृति और पुरुष जो भारतीय मनीषा में जो एक डाइवर्जेंस एक रखा गया. So Prakriti is all about, and today we emphasized upon a very core component, the Indic environmentalism. भारत में क्षिति जल पावक गगन समीरा, गोस्वामी तुलसीदास जी रामचरितमानस में लिखते हैं, पंच रचित अति adham sarira. Adham is a word in quotes, again a philosophical precept that this body has its own expiry date, and that's where some of the biggest philosophers of environmentalism has talked about that we have to leave this earth intact, the resources intact for the next generation of ours. So that's where this entire precept of integral Indic environmentalism comes over here. I request Dr. Surbhi to formally welcome our guests. I can see Madam Jyoti Arora from Mount Abu Public School, Rohini, Delhi, with us, and other guests are also joining in. So the
Yeah,
whole,
we
yeah,
have Madam Rinki Sharma ma'am from MS Ramaiah University of Applied Sciences, MSRUS, and I can see, yeah,
so other guests would
who
be
are
just,
joining in. Yeah.
yeah. So Dr. Surbi, the whole precept behind this integral Indic environmentalism, and juxtaposing it with the life and legend of Guruji Madhav Sadashiv Golwalkar ji, who talked a lot about ecology, economics, and ethics. When we say integral, so at many a times there is a debate somewhere, and our participants would be coming in, that we try to see only one segment of things. We just try to say, oh, environmentalism has to be there, while people are enjoying the cozy comforts of modernity in all resplendence. So environmentalism has to be centrally positioned. That is why it has not to be sectoral, it has not to be segmented, it has to be integral. एक समग्रता का भाव उसमें होना बहुत आवश्यक है, and that's why the entire environmentalism which our country has been championing for the last 12 14 years is economics with ecology. Economic development is also so very important, and ecological conservation, environmental conservation is also quite over there. So on that pretext also, integral environmentalism comes into play, and that's why the triad of Guruji, which we have presented out here, you can see on the backdrop, is it is ecology, economics, and ethics. So we have to have a kind of a balanced mix of it all. It's a kind of very smart engineering which has to be worked around. For example, Prime Minister said that cooking gas crisis is out there. So all the Indian households, cooking is an integral concept. Uske bina ghar nahi chalega. So the entire populace has shifted on the electrical inductions or other uh, clean energy sources. And as we have been reading all across, that India has touched upon 270 giga watts of power. Our grid has got that kind of a capacity. It didn't trip off even in the summer months. So that's a kind of a parallel capacity which our country developed as a whole. So that's how. And when we say integral, Indic environmentalism, five elements of nature are very, very intertwinedly put in the Indic environmentalism. क्षिति जल पावक गगन समीरा, और मैंने तुलसीदास जी का वह चौपाई पढ़ी कि पंच रचित अति अधम शरीरा। तो पंच महाभूत की जो बात है, जो हमारी परंपरा में गाया जाता है, एंड देर इज अ साइंटिफिक रैशनल around all of that. Like we have got five senses also, and in the Indian pantheon it is said that earth is the grossest of the element, which has all the five senses. पृथ्वी के अंदर, क्षिति के अंदर शब्द स्पर्श रूप रस गंध, पांचों जो सेंसेस हैं वह विद्यमान है. देर इज एन एंटायर ट्रीटाइज एंड हाउ फ्रॉम द ग्रॉस अर्थ to the subtlest of the space, there is a whole continuum of elements. As you can see on the streets, that the Western thought says that we will celebrate the Earth Day on a particular day of the year, the Water Day on a different day, the fire, what we map it with the energy on a separate day. Then there is a space week altogether in October, and then air days also out there. So even the five elements are seen in a segmented fashion, but somewhere or the other, the integral Indic environmentalism is all about looking the whole creation as a whole, looking at all the four purusharthas as a whole, trying to create a kind of fine balance out there. So I think this is a kind of a philosophical precept whereby we can go on and on and on. And the kind of commemorations which we have around environment, it is perhaps on the second number. The first obviously remains the human health days, which are commemorated all over the world. And today we have all gathered out here to really celebrate, commemorate, cheer the gurus of integral Indic environmentalism, the grand undertakers of Rashtriya upliftment, along with the environmental schools and the environmental universities, which are really doing a path breaking work. And somewhere, as we invoke Guruji Madhav Sadashiv Golwalkar ji, who led the world's largest organization of volunteers. Just imagine, India was not even free. He took on the reins of this large voluntary corps known as the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. Just see the very generic name of it all. that Swayam Sevaks, I don't need an organization, I don't need an institution for the Rashtriya upliftment. I can just go out in my spare time. I can just do something positive. I can just start serving in some way or the other. And perhaps environment is one field where we really require this Swayam Sevak movement rather than the government regulations. The solid waste management rules got notified on this 1st of April, whereby government has come out with a lot of regulations, lot of investment is going on in managing the waste for that matter. But as an individual, can we really do something? And that's where our educators, Madam Dr. Jyoti Arora ma'am, Dr. Anupama Mishra ma'am, the future generation of environmental warriors, I would say environmental Swayam Sevaks, a better term. They are curating, they're chiseling it out. The sanskaras they are giving out in those 6, 7, 8 hours of their schooling. कि भाई सरकार तो करेगी ही, but even the waste segregation has to be done at the domestic level. The organic Gaiya Maiya, Kabadi Bhaiya, and Dharti Maiya, the kind of tripartite waste which is in the parampara, ki whatever we can give it to the animals can be fed to them directly. And whatever has to be decomposed into the earth, Mother Earth, let it be done in the locality itself. And whatever the Kabadi Bhaiya waste, the metal, the cardboards, the plastic, it can all be compacted, it can all be stored separately, and it can be disposed thereupon. So, and how the air pollution, how the water recycling, the circular economy, I think a phenomenal work is going on our campuses. इस प्रस्तावना के साथ we would just start off our today's commemoration, and we wish to felicitate from this August forum 8, I would say, very eminent gurus, very eminent stakeholders in the entire space who are really doing a human service in the space of integral Indic environmentalism. Dr. Surbhi, just formally welcome all our guests who have just joined in so that we can just take it forward. Yeah.
A very warm greetings on the World Environment Day. I take this opportunity and privilege to welcome Dr. Anupma Mishra, Madam, Principal Sunbeam Varuna Varanasi, and a leader in herself, Honorable Madam Dr. Jyoti Arora, Ma'am, Principal of Mount Abu School, Rohini, Delhi, and we have with us also um, Madam Ekta Menghani from JCRC University. She leads the Department of Biotechnology, and she's faculty there, Madam Ekta Menghani. Then we have Madam Rinki Sharma, Associate Dean from MS Ramaiya University of Applied Sciences, and Madam Vasudha Agnihotri from the NIHE, then Namaskar, ma'am, from the National Institute of Himalayan Environment, NIHE, from Himachal Pradesh. Madam is representing NIG from Himachal Pradesh. So with this, we can start the
Yeah,
commemoration
yeah.
ceremony.
So we took a very integral view in selecting some of our gurus of integral Indic environmentalism. And the first one, the report which really caught our fancy, is a very small, a 43 pager. But the kind of impact which this report has, perhaps on the entire, I would say, compact of environmentalism. Because roti, kapda, makan, that is the kind of the basic human needs, and food security is something which gets affected so very much. Food security, obviously, from the cooking fuel crisis, what loomed large in a couple of months, all the houses were glued onto the TV screens ki bhaiya tanker aaya ki nahi aaya LPG ka. But perhaps on a different yardstick, the production of food. There is a report on nutritional journey of traditional foods of Uttarakhand. There is a very specialized institution called the National Institute for Himalayan Ecology. It is named after one of the other Indian savants, Pandit Govind Vallabh Pant, the second home minister of the country. And this report, it talks about, it's published by the Center for Land and Water Resource Management at GB Pant National Institute of Himalayan Environment. And it has been selected because it goes out to expound not just the environmental purport of traditional foods of Uttarakhand, but it also presents the nutritional value of it. The Rashtriya Poshan Abhiyan, as we all talk about it, कि भाई क्या calories, क्या तरीके से, and they have presented the integral characteristics. It becomes kind of an exemplar for the other geocultural agrarian locales of भारत. एनवायरमेंट में एक बात हम कहते हैं, जैसे अभी एथेनॉल हम प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं तो 10,000 या whatever 1,000 liters of water goes on in producing 1 liter of ethanol. So there is a water mix, there is an environmental cost of agriculture as well, and somewhere or the other the traditional crops, the traditional foods of ours, they are high in nutritional value, but the cost of theirs on their environmental burden is quite low. And this fabulous report, we really wish to felicitate. In the name of Guruji, we want to pay the Guru Golwalkar tribute 2026 to this Guru, this very report. And I would request Vasudha Agnihotri ji to further entail the core purport of this report, because we have got academicians from all across the country today on this forum, and this will be viewed later on as well. As to why this report is so very critical in the contemporary environmental discourse of the country. Madam Vasudha Agnihotri ji.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to discuss this work. It's a small piece of work, and this was funded by the Department of Science and Technology under NRDMS. And the main purpose, the call of the project was that marginalized community. We have to target the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. And so we thought the food is the main thing, although these foods are also taken by all the communities, but because the land size is very less for such marginalized communities, so we thought we should explore what type of food they are taking, because the health is very important. So we have selected some villages based on the Jangarna of 2011. We have selected some villages of Almora district, and the scheduled caste communities we have targeted because they are mostly scheduled caste communities only in those areas. So what we thought that water, because I'm also working on water, so water is the major problem along with many other problems, and we thought that we have to get or collect all the knowledge of the from the people, the crops which requires less amount of water. These are also called known as orphan crops. So we have selected the horse gram, the barnyard millet, and black soya bean, and rice bean, and the lobia. So different types of things we have discussed with the villagers, how they are using, in which way they are cooking. So we have identified some people who have cooked the food for us. We have taken those foods and we analyzed all the samples, so to understand that what nutrition they are getting. The problem is that nowadays the children are going far away from these types of foods. They were attracted towards the that fast foods and other foods. So we thought that we should work on that. And along with that, when we are doing the survey in those villages, what we found that although I'm very good supporter of the that ration system, but a midday meal system also, but we have suggested that why we are not focusing taking these types of grains, why we are not distributing these types of grains to those communities or other areas, so that farmers will get benefit. Because if the demand will increase, the farmers have to produce more, and these are these crops can be grown at water scarce areas. So our aim was to analyze, to promote the farmers so that they can generate more such type of grains. Along with that, because it's having high vitamin contents and many other minerals, these are very rich food. So we thought that we should promote through this small piece of work that everybody should eat these food. Nowadays people are aware of to take these foods, but in the rural areas they are more attracted towards the food which generally the people are were eating this. But nowadays these foods are becoming popular in the rural urban areas, but the rural people still find wheat and rice more attractive than these foods. So this was the main purpose of the work, to popularize the food as well as to analyze the nutritional content, make the people aware about the nutrition content. We have also tried to connect with the food tourism, but I got transferred, so this work I was not able to do. But I was earlier posted in Almora, Uttarakhand, but I will definitely
Mhm.
work on that, because food tourism is also nowadays very popular. becoming popular. So that's yeah.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. I think the core emphasis what comes through that environmentalism starts with our very food habits.
Yeah.
So our ancients are people who were very like the irrigation prone, the high value, I would say, high fertilizer rich, and all kind of genetically modified crops. We are now talking all about it, the food engineering and all. So the
Mhm.
traditional foods do have a environmental component embedded into that very
Yeah.
very integrally, and beautiful part is they are not just nutritious, but as Dr. Surbhi, a medical professional herself, she experiments upon that these coarse foods are very good for preventive healthcare as well.
Yeah.
The kind
True.
of diseases what we are getting, the diabetes, the blood pressures and all. So all the lifestyle, because ahar hi aushadhiya, that goes the AIMS paradigm. So environmentalism is so very integral. Environmentalism has a direct impact on the
It's
human health.
but this is also supporting the food nutraceutical. We have published the papers on that. The
Yes,
food nutraceutical is also the part of this. The
yes,
people should not take the nutritional capsules, rather they can eat
yes.
those foods and they can get most of the benefits. This is
Exactly,
also what.
exactly, exactly, exactly. So
Yeah.
thank you so much,
Thank you
Dr.
so much.
Devotri. Thank you. And this is a very foundational work, and this really needs to be taken further and forward, whereby our young consumers are there that eat what is environmental friendly, what is nutritious, what is healthy. It is all a full cycle, and that's where the integral Indic environmentalism goes on. Moving forward, I think member secretary from Odisha State Pollution Control Board would be joining in. They are very, very busy people trying to control the environmental pollution. This is on the other side of the spectrum. कि भाई क्षिति जल पावक गगन समीरा का जो pollution है with the guidelines with the baton on their hands, this is a kind of danda niti they have to put it across, and they created a very lovely mobile app for real time fly ash monitoring, so that from the power plants when the fly ash is getting dumped somewhere, it just doesn't get dumped here, there, or everywhere. It should be done at a stipulated location. So that compliance, they have used technology so that out of ulterior motives, all the contractors, they should not dump it at healthy farms or somewhere or the other. So we would perhaps return to this when the member secretary joins in. So they are also being bestowed upon the Guru Gulwarkar tribute for integral Indic environmentalism for this mobile app, which they have developed in association with IIT Bhubaneswar. मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, जिस संस्थान के नाम में ही वरुणा है, वरुण देवता का वास है, वी वुड रियली लाइक टू फेलिसिटेट द सनबीम Varuna School and Hostel, Varanasi, the prime constituency of the Prime Minister himself, and it is led by the enigmatic Dr. Anupma Mishra. And we were really startled. I would just try to share, I would say, the show, the kind of the submission which we just got it from this school, just to have an idea as to what exactly. Just a moment, I am just coming to it. Yes, yes,
Thank you, Dr. Raghav.
ma'am.
Long time no see, no
Yes,
this thing, but yes, it's always a pleasure to join to your platform. And you already started the session with beautiful taking Earth, Dharma, Kam, Moch, everything together, getting villain in all the Panchatattva you
ma'am.
spoke about. So that was really itself a, absolutely
Yes.
a big booster for starting the conversation.
So
So,
just see the kind of great work like waste segregation at source. Pollution control boards are really working hard at the waste dump sites. But if this segregation can be done at the source itself, so this is what Sunbeam is doing apart from our other schools across the country. Composting and organic waste management, the fundamentals, the first principle environmentalism perhaps comes at our K-12 schools where the habits of life, because they say that education about environment is the education at the end of the day. So if this day to day learning happens it goes on to one family, one kid at a time. It really helps the entire Rashtra in a big way. So, sustainable agriculture and kitchen gardening initiative. So, they show the whole cycle of it, the entire Kaushal Bodh of CBSE, which has come through. So, it is practiced in out there. Then SDG based environmental projects and community outreach very closely embedded into the curriculum. So this is as far as the Shiti is concerned, the earth. Then Jal, the whole water crisis which is looming large across. And we all saw that how the Middle East has done the desalination plants for their potable water and bombing those desalination plants became high on the agenda somewhere. So water conservation awareness, sustainable gardening practices, community outreach, and not just the school but then going out to the community. I would request perhaps Dr. Mishra to also just tell us more about the fire element, the energy conservation things uh, herself. So this is the great work, ma'am, if you can uh, the energy efficient infrastructure that the school has adopted, the LED bulbs in a big way, switching off the lights, fans, air conditioners, small habits. Now, no government can do it. You have to really become a Swam Sevak. You have to become an environmental school for making it happen. And then they are doing research projects around environment, surveys, audits related to energy usage कि घर में अगर इतना मीटर आ रहा है, द ग्रेडेड बिलिंग विच हैज टू बी डन कि 100 यूनिट तक सरकार ने इतनी बिजली का बिल दिया है, एंड देन आफ्टर दैट यू मूव ऑन टू द हायर स्लैब ऑफ कंजम्पशन. सो कॉमर्स एंड एनवायरमेंट कम hand in hand out here. And then very beautifully sustainable lifestyles and climate action, round square activities, earth hour observances, so and so forth. On the Vayu element, uh, promotion of a green and low emission campus, tree plantation and green belt development, air quality awareness. Varanasi is still 700 kilometers from the national capital. We understand, but still the air quality issues have come out there as well. And environmental campaigns, global days, noise pollution awareness and responsible behavior. And then on the Akash element, the space of it all, astronomy club, science. Now this debris part is still in the building up. We are not so very directly affected, but then the space was the kind of laser warfare. I think all has been covered. The electromagnetic radiation, safe device usage, it all comes beaming from the space. E-waste collection. So this is the kind of great good work. We were really startled to read it all, understand it all, and this is a kind of a baseline portfolio onto which I think our Sunbeam School Varuna, it's working so very well. So over to ma'am.
Thank you, Raghav sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And just a request. Actually, my grandchildren are around. They have come thinking it's a vacation, but actually for me, so there is no vacation. So here and then you might be listening to their giggles, and sometimes they're entering in my room. I had to shift my venue also,
Yeah.
so be able to speak. So of course, I'm so grateful to be working under such a management that all these things that you are reading, Raghav sir, and my fellow colleagues here on the platform, it's integrated in the curriculum.
Mhm.
And starting from nursery to class 12, every chapter we have mapped with sustainable goals. Every assignment we have drafted taking a sustainable goal. Either it's land or life on land and life underwater, or quality education, or no poverty, anything you think of, and it's there in the curriculum itself. Of course, you did read about biocomposting or rainwater harvesting, or talking about STEM, community outreach. It's there. When you're talking about environment, actually what we did started with, uh, I'm talking specific about Varuna. I have created one small sustainable audit team that is from class 7.
Mhm.
There are 12 students. And what we did, we named them as sustainable audit ambassadors. We felicitated them on the stage. And the day it happened, you would believe the kind of change we could see. They had become adults next day. They have got the batches, they have got the passes. They are the ones who took care of the whole school like it was their own. Even I had to listen to my chairman. अरे भाई इतना अंधेरा मत करो कि हम लोग गिर जाएं, हम लोग की भी उम्र हो गई है. But if there is one fan extra, there is one light extra in the corridor, they are the ones to switch it off.
Mm-hmm.
It initially started with little bit of threatening, little bit of warning, but I'm happy that 1.5 years it took, it has come into the culture. Like it's there in me, it has come. Like I get up, I switch off my light and AC and fan before I step out of my office. Even if I enter into my office 20 times and I step out of the office 20 times in a day, it's become a habit. Ki, nahi, you have to close off the lights if I'm going. So, and just before few days, we had the SWOT analysis. It's not SWOT, it's SWOT analysis. When we do the comparative analysis of the branches, from the last year, we have saved 17 lakh rupees in the electricity bill.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
17 lakh is a huge amount to be saved on the electricity bill.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly, 9 lakh something we saved in the fuel. Fuel, of course, the tours of buses are the same, the trips are the same, but it came through carpooling that we started.
Mm-hmm.
We started initiative of carpooling, either it was of the teachers, the parents, even my admins and I. We do the carpooling when we are going to the school, when we are coming back. Even if I have to wait for 1 hour for my colleagues to come, I will wait, but we will go together. So it saves fuel. Of course, it was a collaborative approach. And slowly and slowly, my staff started doing the same. If they're coming from the same colony, there are 3 staff members in a car with 4 children, they will stuff in it, but they come. 1 week, there is 1 staff coming with the car. Next, they shift it. Some of them have started coming by bicycle also. When I went to Dubai for Saudia conference, when I came back and shared that I've seen people driving bicycle in the morning going to office, and even the children doing the same. They have taken it as a challenge and they really love to have it. So these 2 things, of course, I'm sure in the days to come will have a bigger impact. And even we may not be there, but once the environment is created, it stays for 100 years to come for an institution. 2 beautiful projects we have started. One is nest making.
Mm-hmm.
And we started with the song Ori Chiraiya,
Mm-hmm.
Angana mein phir aana re, because actually the sparrows have vanished. They are not to be seen anywhere. So class 3 and 4, this is a basic project for them, that every child has to create a nest out of the waste material and hay and the paper, and they have to hang it in their balcony, their gardens. They have to make a little feeder and they put it. They are also like bird nest making ambassadors, giving them little recognition, give them more responsibility, giving them little batches. We called Mr. Rakesh Khatri, the nest man of India. He was there to give the training, and this has taken off the beautifully. And even the parents do make and come when we are having PTMs, child parent teacher dialogues, they do come. They are doing one thing. Second, we have a project named Parimal. We have not mentioned everything. It was not easy to bring everything together in the paper. That is Parimal. What happens mainly during the wedding seasons and Diwali, festivals, especially like Diwalis and Durga Puja, we have asked the children to collect the flowers, dried flowers. Mummy ne puja kiya, dadi ne puja kiya. Next day, you have to bring that mala to the school. Our peons are carrying a pushp कलश. एक गगरी होती है, उसको लेके क्लासेस में घूमते हैं, बच्चे उसमें डालते जाते हैं, डालते जाते हैं, डालते जाते हैं. In the afternoon, we spread it on the mats. It's dry. And then there is a very close by, there is a incense stick making factory. Right now, we don't have our machinery of our own, but we plan to purchase one And since we cannot sell it, children make it and children pack it, and it's beautifully taking shape. We keep on gifting to the parents when they are coming for PTM. The stall is there, how they are working. So that way, instead of throwing it to the garbage, the flowers are being used into this way. And it's creating a lot of, entrepreneur skills, lot of sensitivity towards the environment. There are children who go to even to the temples asking Pandit ji, आप माला नहीं फेंकिएगा मैं शाम को लेने आऊंगा, and they bring in the polythenes and they give it to the school, they put in the post colors. So that one project the children have taken. And the last and the biggest one, of course, we got inspired from Sindhya school, and Neera ma'am, we had gone for a visit. It's sanitary napkin making.
Mhm.
So we are using banana fibers. Class 9 girls have taken this project, Raghav sir.
Mhm.
And it is also no commercial gain on it. So we are using banana fibers in making these sanitary napkins. Even the boys are getting involved. That is one uh,
Mhm.
very sensible awareness among both the genders, boys and girls coming together, talking about menstrual hygiene, creating the sanitary napkins, talking to the maids about that. And then we gifted. There are 8 core branches of Sunbeam in the school, Varanasi. So every support staff is being given a pack of sanitary napkins, every female members, and even the male staff support staff members have been given by the children themselves. Even it has become our signature program nowadays. So whenever there is a guest, we wish that the person visits and sees that. So I think there are many more things going on in head, and they are in the planning project. But I think whatever little we can do to make the resources little sustainable, make them reusable, recycle, and e-waste. Either it was a mobile, or either it was a PC, or either it was. We tied up with there is a company named Go Sharpener.
Mhm.
Okay, so they came with a beautiful project of creating a butterfly garden in the school. But I don't know, it got lost somewhere, and we ended up in different sustainable projects, and the major one being exchanging our e-waste with them and getting handmade pages, A4 sheets, and the notebooks.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that way, our consumption, like this time, before March, I gave them around, I think, 150 kgs of e-waste. The
Mhm.
computers and the PCs and the laptops and the mobiles. Children also donating their old mobiles. That one, what to say, the old style Reliance one with the only keypads, not the Android ones.
Mhm.
And whatever the chargers, old chargers and headphones and everything. And we have received 54 kgs of, no, 54 packets of A4 handmade sheets. So the way we order for the annual consumption of the papers, 54 packets of sheets got reduced in that. So that is one way, saving on the expenses also, and using the recycled papers in the offices and at the fee counters wherever possible. I think it's quite heartening, but there are miles to go. No doubt we will continue to help in whatever little ways. Not I, but yes, children of Sunbeam can. Thank
That's
you
what
so much for giving this platform to share some of the thoughts, some of the ideas.
the grand undertaking for Rashtriya upliftment we all call about, and Dr. Anupa Mishra is truly a representative of that, and she has really synthesized the ecology, economics, and ethics in such a sensitive and a circular fashion. I think hats off to you, ma'am. And this
Thank you,
tribute,
Raghav sir.
this
It's
tribute.
support of you all. I don't know. I think we have known each other from quite a few years. I think 8 to 10 years now. And every time when I come on your platform, I have to say something, I have to tell something, I have to express something, I have to get more ideas and carry back to my school as well.
Thank you so
So
much, ma'am. Thank you
that's
so much.
quite an encouragement. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for the
it's a
recognition.
great learning for the entire school community as to what really can be done at the institutional level, because 3,000 plus families are really directly connected. And as ma'am said, that 8 branches of Sunbeam are there. So the kind of impact which a single edu brand can really bring about in the larger vicinity, perhaps in a proactive Swayam Sevak mode, I think no other institution has the power to replicate that. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. And moving forward, we have got a Mount Abu, the seat of Brahma Kumaris, the lovely seat in the Marwad area in Delhi, in Rohini, Delhi itself. And the school led by the very affable, a very dynamic Madam Dr. Jyoti Arora, ma'am. And we just see the kind of energy, enthusiasm, and the kind of other innovative aspects right in the heart of national capital, and the kind of environmentalism Madam Jyoti Arora is bringing about. I would again like to do the honors by really showing across the longish submission what we received from the Mount Abu Public School. Just a moment. Yes, yes, here it's here. So yes. So, uh, in the 5 elements, we try to create this framework of integral Indic environmentalism. And they say that nature is not a resource to be exploited, but a sacred trust to be protected for future generations. I think the whole spirit of Goswami Tulsidas ji's chopai, which I just uttered, that there is a end to this human life. Ten tyakten bhunji tha. As Guruji used to say, that Rashtray Swaha, idam Rashtray, idam namam. ये केवल मेरा नहीं है. I would not consume it all for myself. So it's a larger public trust. The air we breathe in, the water we drink. I think those very sanskaras in at Mount Abu are really impregnated into the young learners out there. And they have just put up the values, and they are really lived. And as Madam Arora would be talking more about it, that as to how Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, because until or unless there is an egalitarian and equitable distribution of resources for everyone to consume, there cannot be a Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. And responsible coexistence with nature, it has been enumerated so very well. Waste segregation starts off, organic composting, soil enrichment, the soil health cards which Prime Minister talks about so very fervently over and over and over again. And perhaps his very effort for the last 10-12 years has led that India is not facing that kind of a big fertilizer crisis. The petroceuticals which we are getting across, our manuring is out there very much. The biodiversity gardens, herbal gardens are well within the institutional campus. We have to really visit the Mount Abu Public School campus to really feel it all over there. Then student-led environmental stewardship programs, quite in that Swayam Sevak spirit, that you have to be the beacon of change yourself. As Gandhi ji used to say, आप खड़े हो जाइए and you start the change yourself. Don't expect anyone else to come to help and support to you. Then they have the integration of environmental ethics into curriculum. This is so very important. Ethics come as a subject only at the PG level, at the IM, at the management level itself, corporate ethics, so and so forth. And Mount Abu Public School has really taken the environmental ethics through its activity mode phenomenally. And then adoption of ecological stewardship of going beyond the school campus, अपनी vicinity में जो दीपक है, the school can be great, but how about the larger vicinity? So the school has adopted 2 parks with the shram of the students. They are really doing a great work. Then rainwater harvesting, ground recharge, so very important for a heavily populated city like Delhi. They are the recipient of the National Water Award 2024, quite a feather in their cap. Then water literacy through global citizenship curriculum, that is what is adopted out there. Efficient water management and leak prevention, a very nuanced area, but hats off to Madam Arora that she has picked up this component of leak prevention. पानी टप 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 टपक रहा है, the way Dr. Anupama Mishra talked about कि भाई बिजली थोड़ी भी हो बंद कर दो, because it's a collective grid, it's a connected one. तो पानी कहीं से भी बहेगा, uska loss hoga. This is a very smallest sensitivity which has been picked up. Now, futuristic aspects like AI for Jal, AI for all global innovation for water sustainability, how to use the machine intelligence to really plan the water grid for that matter, student led water conservation campaigns, student coded digital solutions and sensor hardware, Aqua Buddy app. So, this portfolio we will be putting up in the public space so that everyone can read and learn and share with each other. On the fire element, the energy part, sustainability and energy literacy education, solar energy education, green transportation through CNG bus fleet. So our dependence on the Middle East petrodollars, it reduces quite a lot. Student innovation in clean energy technologies, climate action and community engagement, low carbon lifestyles they have mentioned, like the nutrition part of it, as Vastu Agnotri ji said, consumption of millets, and also how can we adopt a low carbon lifestyle in a city dwelling. It's quite a challenge, but Mount Abu School has been doing it. Plantations, clean and sustainable mobility, air quality awareness through environmental education. Delhi, it remains in the national news for its AQI aspects, 500 plus, 400 plus, that remains the only parameter across. So, climate action and environmental leadership, student led community awareness campaigns goes very well. And then on the Akash, astronomy education is there. माउंट आबू के शिखर से आकाश को गैलेक्सीज को व्यू करना, डेडिकेटेड एस्ट्रोनॉमी लेबोरेटरी, बिकॉज फ्यूचर इज स्पेस एज दे ऑल कॉल इट, द स्पेस साइंस, expert interactions and global scientific exposure, awareness on electromagnetic radiation and responsible technology use that comes there, and e-waste management and reduction of technological pollution. So I think the whole spectrum has been covered so very beautifully out there at Mount Abu Public School. I would request Madam Dr. Jyoti Arora ma'am to accept this token tribute from this forum, and also give her exhortation out here.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Raghav, Dr. Surbhi, and so happy to connect with both of you after a long time. And before I speak, my warm greetings to all on World Environment Day. And you said that you would like to visit the school. It's a big, big welcome to anyone whosoever feels like that he or she is a lover of nature. So thank you very much for the felicitation and the recognition as well. We are very clear when it comes to education and environment. I know these two terms cannot be separated, and a lot is happening within the school when it comes to environment. So when we say one world, one earth, one family, we mean it. So Dr. Raghav, you have made my task very easy by sharing or mentioning so many practices we have in the school. And you know, everything, whatever I feel that we wish to get out of our children, awareness is the key to achievement, number one. Number two, we need to create an ambience. If we want that, we need to produce nature lovers or children with ethics and values. We need to create that kind of ambience. So that this journey starts from there. If you look at the campus, it's green. Every nook and corner of the school is green. And I always call my school as SDG lab, because you visit any corner of the school, you feel like SDGs we are addressing, SDGs we are practicing, SDGs are in action. So the journey starts from there. And you have already mentioned about our global citizenship curriculum. Let me tell you that we are the only school in India to have a self-curated curriculum on global citizenship, which we introduced somewhere in 2019 or 18. So, and this curriculum has received international recognitions, national recognitions, and because of this curriculum, we were awarded in Austria by the government of Austria for our intercultural dialogues and the kind of practices we have. It's all about integration of SDGs or integration of global citizenship in the curriculum or whatever we are doing. So, would also like to mention that this year we were the national awardee in water conservation and management. Out of our n number of practices we have in the school when it comes to water management, water conservation, in addition to the kind of awareness we are uh, uh, creating for children and involving, engaging our parents and all other stakeholders. So, uh, started with induction of these uh, these terms in the council, school council, that which was very important. Ultimately they have to take over the charge. So the journey though started since the day SDG goals were announced in the UN Assembly in 2015, but then we started having some leaders taking it forward through various ways and modes. And you talk about any practice related to environment, whether it's vermicomposting, rainwater harvesting, energy conservation, water conservation, all this is happening because I feel this has to be a way of life. There cannot be one fixed day to celebrate environment. Though we celebrated Environment Day yesterday with in the collaboration of Embassy of Israel, because Israel is a small country but having shortage of water, but having excellent, fabulous practices for their for the environment, especially for water conservation and energy conservation. So we named it as Climate Action Carnival because I feel like until unless you add something which is lucrative, which is interesting for children to come enjoy. So we turned this entire green area of our school into a carnival kind of ambience. And children came, they played games, they had quizzes, they had talks, they had monologues, they had many activities were planned. So regarding so many other things like Save Our Sparrow is a project which the school initiated in the year 2005 when Madam Sheila Dikshit used to be our chief minister, and she only introduced this project. And since then, it is continuing in our system, wherein children have to designate one display board in the class because every class has multiple display boards. One display board of the class is dedicated for this project, wherein children they write their expressions, they write their feelings, whatever they do for saving sparrows, they write on a piece of paper, they stick it there. Any good artwork which they do related to this project, they stick it there. And then we have around 36 feeding zones for sparrows in the school, wherein again these council members they fill those. They are taking care of these feeding zones every day. They fill those pots with water and grains and everything. And we have so many publications also on water and energy conservation and sparrow, Save Our Sparrow projects also. You have already talked a lot about out of our practices which were submitted to you. And collection of wastewater at the end of the day, what I observe the children when they go back, every child has a bottle, either half or maybe less than that, with them, which usually goes into the wash basins once they reach back home. So we have big size bins, buckets, I would say, on every floor, 2-3 buckets, big size. And we ask our children to empty their bottles there before they leave. And then that water is being used for watering plants, maybe for cleaning. So just an effort to save water. But during summers, this is the high time and they need to carry. We are equally careful about to ensure that they have water in their bottle when they are going back home to keep themselves hydrated. So under school enterprise challenge also, we did a lot, best out of waste, and then plastic free ambience, wherein children they make bags out of waste newspaper. Those bags we keep on all our entrance gates. If the guard on duty sees that there is a visitor carrying a plastic bag, we ask them to just because it's a plastic free zone, so we just provide them a bag made out of uh, these waste newspapers, and they have to drop the bag in the bin. And then I also observed that 99% children, they carry their uh, lunch in wrapped in the foil paper.
Mhm.
So we started collecting that foil paper. We sent it for the recycling, and after getting the recycled paper again in fresh rolls, children, those who are heading this project School Enterprise Challenge, they started selling those recycled paper, and the money which was made out of selling of these recycled foil paper was further used in for the plantation and many other things related to environment only. Idea is just to
Mhm.
inculcate those habits and practices of uh, reuse and recycle. So AI for Jal was another initiative wherein we invited ambassadors from 7, 8 countries, and we asked them how they are using AI or how they are integrating AI when it comes to water conservation. Idea was to know about their practices and all that. Then I always feel that this is the time when children are uh, very, very much focused and they are well informed. We need to create platforms so that they choose as per their aptitude and they grow as per their area of interest. So as an educationist, I feel like our foremost responsibility is to create multiple platforms, diverse platforms for diverse learners we have. So we have a tinkering lab wherein children go, they innovate, they tinker, they create, and then they share. So a lot is happening in a school. If you say that everything has to be summed up in 10, 15 minutes, I don't think so. Whatever instantly is coming into my mind, I'm just sharing with you. Otherwise, school is very high on its practices when it comes to environment protection, water conservation, energy conservation. So we keep inviting people from diverse field to come and speak about why it is important to save water, why it is important to conserve energy. Energy audits are happening, audits are happening. A lot is happening. Children are writing a lot, children are sharing a lot, and they are also going to different platforms to share their thoughts and to learn further. So again, I would say that education and environment cannot be separated. Environment is all
Mhm.
about our life. Without life, how the education will happen? So that's the concern and thought that I feel like creating more and more opportunities for them to think about the
Phenomenal,
environment.
phenomenal,
It can
phenomenal.
protect about the environment.
I think Dr. Jyoti Arora ma'am has really set the foundational part of it all, that education cannot go without environment education per se. And one very interesting part, while I was culling this, we were culling this certificate, that they have chosen the color codes of all the 17 SDGs out here in their logo itself. बीच में भुवन भास्कर हैं, उसके आगे माउंट आबू विराज रहे हैं, and that's how the entire education is so very anchored into environmentalism. uh, Phenomenal, ma'am. And I would say that it's not a environment school, it's a sanctuary itself, in that crowded urban space out here. And really, if each school of the country can really take inspiration from Mount Abu Public School, for that matter, I think India's environmental crisis, whatsoever we can call so, the future is very, very bright. The future is very, very hopeful, because we have the gurus, I would say environmental gurus like Dr. Jyoti Arora ma'am, to really guide and instill those sanskaras in the young learners out there. Thank you so much, ma'am, to grace the forum and really illumine us with the spectacular work you are really doing out there which is an oasis, but then it will spread all across the nook and cranny of the country. We learned environmentalism from two lovely schools out there. Before I come to the Pink City with Dr. Madam Ekta Menghani ji, we would really like to learn from what the higher seat of learning at MS Ramaya University of Applied Sciences is doing. Schools can instill those sanskaras, those foundational ones. The young impressionable minds are out there. But then what happens when you touch upon the grown-ups, the aspiring ones? I think uh, that is what MS Ramaya University of Applied Sciences is doing under the leadership of Professor K.K. Raina sir. Dr. Surbi?
Yeah, Madam Rinki Sharma is there, Associate Dean from the university.
Yeah,
Ma'am, if you may please unmute yourself and switch on the camera. We
I will
may,
put you on the spotlight as well. Yeah, ma'am.
yeah, Madam Rinki Sharma.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I will not be able to switch on the camera. The connection is very uh,
Yeah, Madam is traveling
it's weak
actually.
because I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Okay, no
So,
issues, ma'am. No
but
issues, ma'am. Yeah. So just to do it things on behalf of ma'am, what a submission! Like it's a treatise in itself, and to really put it into the framework, it was really a challenging aspect. I would really like to show across as to what a higher education institute dedicated to environmentalism actually means, and that is what. Uh, Professor K.K. Raina's academic rigor and the entire team at MS Ramaya is actually up to. This is the whole environmental philosophy. What they talk about is nurturing nature is their philosophy out there, and uh, the plastic metamorphical journey initiative. There are a host of works out there, eco bappa celebrations, gomaya deepotsavam, broader vision of creating environmentally responsible citizens. Truly the swayam sevak approach ki bhai you have to protect the environment, no central or global agencies are going to do it. It is everyone's role for that matter. On the shiti part, earth part, obviously the afforestation, the seed ball preparation and biodiversity enhancement, e-waste management, environmental awareness and sustainable living education at the higher education level. It is the really the tougher part of it all for Dr. Anupama Mishra ma'am and Dr. Jyoti Arora ma'am. We understand the kids are still growing, they are still teenagers and adolescents, but then impregnating it all into those grown-ups, into those on the edifice of becoming youth. I think this is a much bigger challenge for that matter. Plastic waste reduction and cleanliness campaigns on the component of water. What talked about is their visits to the slush tanks, to the septic waste tanks, because that provides that sensitivity कि भाई हमारा सारा waste it goes out there. All the lakes of Bangalore, how they've been turned into slush tanks, that's a kind of a concern which each one of us have for that matter. Also to the hydropower plants, South India, M. Vishweswaraya sir, the whole civil engineering aspect of it all. So they really converge it through using their environmental philosophy out there, and they create environmentally conscious graduates. So the philosophy of what, and this submission, I would say I would not be able to read it out at all in this short time, but then this is something which really share it across to the larger audience of academic institutions, both K-12 and higher, as to what a model environmental university should be all about. I can just go on and on and on. And madam also sent the form got I would say it had its limitation. So madam emailed a whole lot of content to us, and again that is something to mull upon and to really create ideas and guidelines for things. So ma'am, over to you ma'am. I just
yeah, thank you. First of all, congratulations to Rethink India Foundation for hosting such an event. It is really a great opportunity for many schools and universities as well to talk about what they are doing and also to learn from each other. Like I was listening to many to the speakers before me and what kind of initiatives they have taken. Sir, like what you were saying, like in schools they teach the kids, but I must say at universities the grown-ups are very, very enthusiastic when it
Mhm.
comes to clean up our environment or take care of our environment. At MS Rama University of Applied Sciences, it is very well known for all its social causes. We have a dedicated hospital for poor, and the whole university, the Gokula Education Foundation, under which the MS Rama University comes, they are very known for their philanthropic work. We have NSS and Rotaract Club, and the students take active participation in this. In these two clubs, I'm sorry for the noise behind me, because I'm traveling.
Not at all,
So,
ma'am.
yeah. So, as you see in the reports or the things that I have attached, the activities that our students do, when it comes to environment, when it comes to plastics, right? There are some during Independence Day and Republic Day, there are some events that Karnataka government organizes in certain public areas, and our students have gone there and distributed bags made up of newspaper,
Mhm.
just to avoid, like whenever there are community, what you can say, the people sell their fruits and all that. There are sante, we call it in Kannada. It's a sante. It's like a big event where people come and buy things, like from a lot of things happen, and our students go there and they distribute over thousands of these paper bags. Then there is this seed ball they prepare and they distribute whenever our students graduate, and when I mean the people who are the medalists, in their name we sow one a plant
Okay.
in our university, in the campus, and
Lovely.
of course we ensure that our campuses are green. If you ever get a chance to visit, I would like to invite you to please come to our campus, and you will see very old trees standing there. We have trees of different fruits and all that. I mean, we maintain that, though expansion is university expansion is one part of it, but we ensure that our greenery is maintained. When it comes to the waste management in all our messes, in all our student mess, the hostel mess, we ensure that the food that is the students leave behind, we use that. We have a biogas plant. We have a water treatment plant inside the university. We
Mhm.
also have we make use of solar panels everywhere wherever possible for our street lights inside the campus. Inside the campus, we tell students to use cycle. We encourage them to use bicycle. We have e-carts to take people around because the university campus is quite big, right? So people can park their vehicles whenever they come from outside and then use the e-cart facility to visit from one department or one building to another building. So MSRM University has been very conscious about the environment, be it in terms of water, be it in terms of energy, air, all the parameters that you are talking about. We have something to contribute to, and we have a lot to learn also, like from these kind of foundations and the kind of work that people are doing. I congratulate you and I thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. I think it was the pleasure was entirely ours to really learn and understand more, like as to what really creates Bangalore into such a lush green city, which it used to be known as Delhi and Bangalore. I think Delhi on the banks of Yamuna, it is still has a lovely foliage and the kind of practices, as you said, it goes on very naturally for the youngsters at the university level. The enthusiasm, if it can be instilled upon, because that is what we at Rethink India call as creative resistance. Instead of negativity or agitation, why not put your energy to constructive solution centric
Absolutely.
transformations? And I think Ramaya University is truly a exemplar on this count. Thank you so much, ma'am, for getting connected while on travel, and thanks for the
My pleasure,
technology
sir.
that
Thank you.
really
Thank you.
helps out there. So moving from Bangalore to the pink
Thank
city,
you for the
first
opportunity.
planned city of the country, Maharaja Jai Singh. I think in that lovely pink city, a very lovely campus, the JECRC University. Dr. Ekta Minghani ma'am, the ever enchanting, enthusiastic head of biotechnology, and she has touched upon the environmentalism from a biotechnological perspective. I think that's quite a unique thing. I cannot stop my enthusiasm from sharing what JCRC University is actually doing on these frontiers. I would just put Ikna Meghani ma'am also on the spotlight so that we can know that. So she's the executive responsible for these lovely environmental. Just a moment here. I'm getting Ekta Meghani ma'am. Yeah. So this is what they talk about meaningful action rather than pontifications alone. So, what meaningful actions we can see? So, campus forestation, sustainable water reuse for green areas, soil conservation, organic waste management, and composting. So, Reena, the standard ones, but the kind of execution which they have done is quite intricate. Drip irrigation and efficient irrigation practices right on the campus. That is quite important. And maintenance of the water infrastructure, that is, inspections of pipelines, storage tanks, water distribution systems to prevent leakages, as Dr. Jyoti Arora ma'am had touched upon. They also have a rainwater storage. Jaipur, though it is a lot of lush green, but still it is close to the desert land. So there is a paucity of water. So water conservation goes very high. Solar energy generation and utilization, they are endowed with sun for that matter. Energy audits and monitoring, green building and energy saving practices. The kind of photographs we see of the JCRC University, it's quite appealing to the eyes. The very nicely done campus. Then what vehicle emission reduction initiatives? So carpooling, as uh, Dr. Anuma Mishra was talking about, but on the higher education campus, where everyone wants to purchase a new car or a motorbike, getting these carpooling aspects, शेयर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन लोगों को थोड़ा ग्लैमरस कम लगता है, और उन ग्रोइंग यूथ को कंट्रोल करना इट्स टफ, but then that's what the campus does. It's a smoke free campus environment. It discourages activities that contribute to air pollution. So, again, an oasis for that matter. And Madam had taken a different view of the element of space. Yes, we are all in space. So, the sustainable campus planning and land use, green open spaces, not a crammed campus, as we can see through, noise pollution control measures, clean and clutter-free campus management, and mindful use of shared spaces, eco club activities, community engagement, so and so forth. So, very uh, passionate and a very emergent university in the Pink City. I think quite an exemplar that way. I would request Dr. Ekta Meghani ma'am to accept this token tribute from this forum. The Guru Golwalkar Environment University title we really wish to confer upon the JECRC University, which says build your word. So again, that very spirit of self sufficiency, एक स्वयं सेवक का जो भाव है, अपना ही एक यूनिवर्स क्यों ना बनाइए. द लार्जर धमाल होता रहेगा, बट व्हाट कैन वी डू इन आवर ओन लिमिटेड स्पेस, that goes very well into their motto itself. So, Dr. Ekta Meghani ma'am.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, ma'am.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Subhi ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. We are really fortunate to having Rethink supporting us in such a way that this kind of token of appreciation will give a boost to work more in the environment. You know, every time you do small work and get the recognition, it is really a support at JCRC University. Sustainability is not merely an initiative, it is a way of life. Though the Center for Sustainability Development Goals SDGs, faculty members and students work together. Me myself is an ambassador to them. So now it is more kind of a responsibility to us rather than a doing thing like for the environment. In this we used to work on all kind of conservations what best we can do. Our commitment to the sustainability is to start with, you can say we are working on the rain harvesting system. We have the good liner systems where water can be collected and reused. We have the solar energy generations at the rooftop of the hostels, so that whenever this energy is produced by the sun, because Rajasthan is too hot nowadays, and we use this energy for the other purposes of the light, right? So it is a very good, even the water recycling system reuse, because we have the hostels in campus and more than 2000 students are residing, and the wastewater is going, and we have a huge big recycling plant there where we get the recycled water. All the gardens, lawn and green spaces are treated with that water, and we are getting a good green campus while using this recycled water. Then further, in the green plantation drive, what our vice chairperson do, he asked us to plant approximately 1 lakh of the plants in the 5 adopted village which are in the vicinity of the Vidani, that is nearby to our campus.
Mhm.
Even what we are doing for the plastic reduction, every time we used to ask for the Bisleri bottles, and the experts and the students, they all are drinking. But now we in this center for SDG, we prohibited this kind of things, and we are using glass bottles instead of plastic bottles. So
Wow.
we are trying for the sustainability to the max. Even in the hospitality, where we are going to use the plastic plates and all, now we are working on these what kind of uh, these kind of the leaf made plates, where all best
Beautiful, ma'am.
sustainability we can do. Even we are banned with the bouquets, now we are using the planters to give the whatever experts or outside people are coming, we are providing them with the token of a planter in the form of a floral welcome instead of that bouquet. Even the huge wastage of the food is done in the mess, as we all know. Some of the volunteer used to stand there and ask student, first either take that much whatever you can eat, and if they are still there are something that we are uneaten in the hostel food form, they are in the bulks, if you can see, and that we are using for the preparation of this organic manures and all, so that the generation of important things for the waste also. Even the carpooling, green transformation,
Mhm.
like we are doing very much thing. Even we are organizing such kind of camps like local for the vocals, instead of eating the these kind of fruits which you say na, like a
Mhm.
tag for nowadays of a symbol of a high profile, we are asking them to move towards the ramfal, and like
Wow, 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 wow.
certain fruits which are very near, like locally available, so that faculty and students used to eat such kind of food instead of that exotic
I
fruits
think
which are.
Vasudha Agnihotri ma'am would be really very, very pleased that the research, what was meant for the marginalized, I think that is the next new normal for the hap.
Organization, what do you call, supported programs, which could be a kind of an annual program that can be done in multiple locations again.
Yes, yes, ma'am, please, please carry on. Yeah.
For these collective efforts, JCRC is fostering a culture of sustainability, innovation, and social responsibility while actively contributing on to the achievement of the UN Sustainable Development SDG goals. Every small step taken by our community contribute to build a greener, cleaner, and more sustainable future. Our tagline is small actions, big impact together for a sustainable tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Coming from the pink city, the city of Maharaja Jai Singh, I
Very
think.
inspiring indeed, ma'am. Very inspiring.
Yeah, so coming to the close of this ceremony, we have the ever enigmatic, I would think ever enthusiastic, the Bal Bharati Public School Pitampura, which remains at the forefront of almost all diverse formats of activities. And we are joined by Madam Preeti Khanna. I would have loved to also read out their submission just to have a quick glance of it all, led by Madam Sonia Chabra ma'am. They are really doing the work. The Panch Mahabhutas are recognized in their institutional campus, the harmony with nature, Om Shanti, 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 the Yagya part of it all. Then segregation of weight at source, e-waste management, Arogya Vatika. Now, this is a quite a differentiated experiment. We saw it over here. It's a medicinal and a herbal garden, which Bal Bharati Public School Pitampura has created. That's a outlier part of it all. Single-use plastic banning and all, that's the regular part. It goes without saying. Water efficient fixtures they have created rather than the taps which just flow out all the water. I think Preeti Khanna ma'am will be talking more about that. Water saving taps, water conservation awareness campaign, because the next wars after the oil, President Trump has waged the war on the world for energy, because Venezuelan president is on the Indian soil for her 5-day official tour. India is being forced upon to procure the Venezuelan oil. So the next wars would be on water. uh, so adopt water saving habits. Water conservation message is quite heavy in the educational curriculum. And then uh, plantation of native trees. So that comes as a very specific focus: cycling, walking, carpooling, naturally purifying the air because of the herbal gardens and all what they have put up. Idling policy, this is quite important, that buses and vehicles cannot idle, ki engine chala ke khada kar diya. So that is something which they stop from happening. And then on the space frontier, a lot of awareness regarding electromagnetic radiation and its environmental impact, awareness sessions. So, very lovely environmental, I would say, work as an environment school Bal Bharti is taking forward. More we will learn from Preeti Khanna ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Please, please accept this token tribute from the forum and also address.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you, Dr. Surbi, and thank you, Rethink, in fact, for getting a platform where every school can showcase the step that they've taken to protect the environment. तो वो जो 5 तत्वों को हमने बचाना है, वो कहते हैं ना बूंद बूंद से घड़ा बहता है. So these are the little steps for a big leap that yes, our generation, we are preparing our new generation to be aware and to have everything with them in terms of all these panch tattvas. Now, when we talk about the panch tattva management, as we said, we have an Arogya Vatika that's been brought up by the Eco Club of the school, and that comprises of school students and staff members. So we have medicinal plants. Along with this Arogya Vatika, we have our alumni who also build up an Aranya, a small park in the school campus where we have yoga being performed, and we have a light music that keeps the flow of the peace always there. So that's Aranya. We have a garden that has been made up by alumni, because it's just not these present students who are made aware of the environment. It is the alumni also who's involved, our PTA members who are involved into all little initiatives we take. So on behalf of Sonia ma'am, I would like to thank everyone for giving us this privilege. And now, talking about the space, we have our clubs and our little children starting from grade 5 to grade 10 who are taking workshops for the children to make them aware of the radiation, the electromagnetic radiations. We even have the e-waste bins placed in our school, and on every PTM, a circular is being sent to the parents that whatever e-waste you have, rather than throwing it anywhere, just get them to us. We'll do the needful and we'll make the environment clean. So that is one little step again we've taken, and there's a good response from the parents. So that is how we even tell children, and this goes through the children to the parent, that this we are not supposed to dispose of the wires, the electronic items just like that. We are supposed to give it to the school, get it in the e-bins, so that it's utilized and recycled properly. Talking about the paper recycling, we even have our in-house paper recycling unit, where
Mhm.
we used to get the paper, recycle it, and the recycled paper was made into little books and was given to all the underprivileged children who needed, the stationery to write. That was another initiative that we've taken up. And plantation drives, awareness uh, drives are a regular feature of our school. And just not the senior school or the middle school takes care of it. We have our little ones from the preschools who are also, made the ambassadors, that yes, today my papa used a carpool, and yes, they share their experience also.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
from there, we start inculcating the habit of carpooling, taking care of air. So that is how we have started promoting coming on cycles, using school buses in place of private vans. So this is how we have those little messages that go across. And since we're a big school, that makes a big difference. So thank you, Rethink, once again. And heartiest congratulations to all the other winners also. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू मैम। हंसो नयतु नह प्रज्ञाम। हे हंस, हंस हम जानते ही हैं कि माँ सरस्वती का वाहन है। हे हंस, हमें ज्ञान की ओर ले चलो। सो ज्ञान, विज्ञान और प्रज्ञान की इस गोष्ठी के विश्राम का समय आ गया है। एज ज्योति मैम सेड दैट एनवायरनमेंट डे जो है वो केवल एक ही दिन नहीं है, पूरे वर्ष जो हमने कार्य किया उसका लेखा जोखा देने का शायद समय है। इट इज़ नॉट जस्ट द कमेमोरेशन, जस्ट ओनली द एनवायरनमेंट इज needed for one day, or Mother's Day or Father's Day. It is just the whole year what we have worked upon. It comes to us, we audit it across, we take new resolves. And as we can see, we got a senior scientist from the National Institute of Himalayan Ecology. It is one of the MOEFCC's key institutions. The kind of research what they have done, and the kind of great good work which the K-12 schools across the nook and cranny, from Banaras to Bangalore to Delhi, they are doing, and also the universities, the Vishwavidyalaya. I think this kind of a continuum, the integration of all these institutions is perhaps required to further bolster this spirit of Swayam Sevak, for which Guru Golwalkar ji spent almost 33 long years in creating that system of volunteership. Swam Sevak in English, it is volunteering. So volunteering is not for a photo op. Volunteering is for the Swanta Sukhaye Tulasi Raghunath Gatha. So environmentalism, what better than this कि हम जो हमारे संस्कार परिवारों के हैं, जो हमें विद्यालय से संस्कार मिले हैं, जो हमारे राज्य और राष्ट्र के जो संस्कार हैं, जो हमारी सरकारें हैं, सब मिलकर समवेत होकर, if we really take on these challenges, this is not challenges for Bharat. तेन त्यक्तेन भुज्जीता, हम लोग तो त्याग में, तपश्चर्या में और सादगी का जीवन जीने वाला ही संस्कृति रही है। एंड दिस से इन द इंडियन फिलोसॉफिकल कॉन्सेप्ट की समस्या गरीबी नहीं है, समस्या अतिरेक की अमीरी है, द ऑब्सिनिटी ऑफ वेल्थ, the obscenity of one percenters to extract all the resources of the earth. As Gandhi ji used to say कि भाई the cosmos has enough resources for everyone, but for everyone's need, but not for one man's greed. So somewhere or the other on this very seminal day of World Environment Day, which we felt like juxtaposing with the living legend, with the grand legend of Guru Golwalkar ji, who really worked so tirelessly to weave the social spaces. India got independent on 15th of August 1947. But then, as a coherent nation, as a society at large, whereby we flow like a wave, the kind of birds what they go in the sky, as a community together. I think that was the work of savants like him, that we see this kind of great good work happening at the institutional level. And as Preeti Khanna ma'am was talking about, it brings to the point that academia can truly be the convergence of the societal transformation, because it is not just the textbooks alone. It is the way of life which can be re-engineered or inculcated on those sanctuaries of learning. As Mount Abu Public School, we saw that it's truly a sanctuary. The kids love, want to go out of their homes and really visit over there, even if it is a blended learning, digital learning for say 2 to 3 days of the week. So I think with this I would request Dr. Surbhi to pass the vote of thanks, and we come to the, हमारे यहाँ कहते हैं हरि अनंत हरि कथा अनंता। तो ये जो डिस्कोर्स है ये केवल विश्राम लेता है, यह समाप्त कभी नहीं होता। We would meet with yet another forum with more vigor, with more learnings from each other. I think आज के इस सत्र में जो सीखा है हमने हम सभी से, that would really bring about a huge change. A small number of institutions, but the kind of collective impact, the cumulative families they represent, I think this is mind boggling. Over to Dr. Surbhi.
So we come to the close of this grand marathon where we have, discussed such good applications of environment conservation measures at the academic institutions, be it the K-12 schools, be it the higher education institutions. And we were joined in by, we are with the NIHE, Madam Vasudha Agnihotri, ma'am. And I take this opportunity to thank all the distinguished environmental gurus now, whom we are felicitating as the gurus of integral Indic environmentalism, the environment schools, the environment universities, to take on this torch further and further and work still further, each day of our lives, furthering sustainability, furthering conservation. And as said, there is enough on this planet for everyone's need, but not for one man's greed. With these words, I take this moment to thank you from all of us at Rethink India, and Namaskaram. Jai Hind.
Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Surbi and Dr. Raghav.